So this video is going to look at how we can get stuck in our SE function, and I'm going to try and provide a way that we can get out of that SE stuckness and develop the SE function. A personal challenge that I have in making this video today is to try and keep it under 20 minutes, so wish me luck. So a lot of INFJs talk about feeling stuck at times in their extroverted sensing function. So let's look at how that might happen. From a day-to-day perspective, I think what happens is the INFJ naturally just gets absorbed in their introverted intuition, becoming more sort of detached, if you like, or not aware of the extroverted sensing, the here and now, the five senses. So I think one of two things happens. The INFJ either notices that certain things need to be done and ignores them, or doesn't notice them. It's probably a combination of both. And what then happens is eventually that list kind of grows, if you like, and then all of a sudden things are getting a bit out of hand here. So in a way it's the J in the INFJ that goes, we need to get some order happening. And because there's been sort of a separation from the SE, the SE can sort of flood in, and then rather than the introverted intuition actually noticing those things that need to be done and just going and doing them, it's almost like the extroverted sensing comes up and becomes the dominant function of the INFJ. It's like it takes over, and suddenly the INFJ might be running around trying to get all of this stuff done and getting very little done. It's almost like the INFJ, the J part becomes a P, and because they're not a P, it doesn't work. And that obviously would be very draining for an INFJ. Okay. Another way the SE function can get the better of an INFJ is more from sort of like a lifelong journey perspective, in that because the SE function is inferior and it's kind of needed really to negotiate various aspects of life, there can come a time for some INFJs where they have like an SE crisis, and it's like there's just this great awakening that this SE function needs to be developed. Life presents that crisis to the INFJ. Just to go into that a little bit deeper, kind of counterintuitive, a person goes out to develop their extroverted sensing function, but needs the SE function in order for that to be more successful and not get into any dilemmas. So that, I think, is one of the paradoxes, if you like, or Achilles heel for the INFJ. So there's some of the reasons why I think the SE function is seen as almost the nemesis of the INFJ, or we have that love-hate relationship with it. However, I think that the SE function is a friend to the INFJ. If anything, I think in regards to developing the SE function, it's actually the NI in some ways that I think is a bit more of the issue, because the NI can sort of pick up on those SE promptings and either probably just dismiss them in some cases, preferring just to stay in introverted intuition. A way that someone might want to develop it is today I'm just going to be absolutely present in the moment. I'm just going to be constantly aware of what's going on around me. I think that approach would be very draining for an INFJ. So that brings us back to the purpose of this video, which is how to develop the SE inferior function for the INFJ. There are some that talk about the fact that the SE inferior function, or any inferior function, needs to be developed almost as a flow-on effect from the other three functions in the stack. How do we kind of negotiate that? How do we develop it without either doing it super consciously or making it become the dominant function? The idea that I'm going to present is a practical task, if you like, but it's one that really engages the introverted intuition as more the dominant factor in the process. So this task really just focuses on the 5 senses. So as an illustration, I'm going to use a hand to help illustrate this. And on each of the fingers is a sense. So we've got taste, touch, sound, smell, and sight. So the idea is to list 3 things on each of the senses. So one of the first challenges to doing this exercise for the INFJ might be simply coming up with 3 possible things to do for each of the 5 senses. But I would allow the introverted intuition to guide that process. I'd also encourage people to share some of their own ideas around developing the SE inferior function in regards to the 5 senses. So once you've come up with your 3 or so ideas, and I guess just roughly putting a plan together and going and doing some of those things, you almost need to forget about extroverted sensing after that and just go and do them. Because what you don't want to do is, when you're going to see a new concert or going to see a play that you've never seen before, you don't want to be walking in there going, I need to be super aware of what I'm noticing and what people are doing up on stage and what are the sounds that I'm hearing and what's going on. For the INFJ, that's going to be draining and not very exciting or meaningful. It's going to be the introverted intuition that's going to create all the meaning around the experience. It's not going to be the SE, but by going to the concert or going to the play, extroverted sensing is having an experience by the fact that you're there. But it's going to flow through the NI, FE, TI and into the extroverted sensing function. So you'll probably find this exercise to be naturally draining because the extroverted sensing function is getting a workout when you go and do these things. The meaning of the experience may come after the experience, once the INFJ has gone away and processed the experience using their introverted intuition. So to summarize the exercise to develop the SE inferior function is, firstly, write out the 5 senses. The second thing to do is really just to sit with it and allow the introverted intuition to come up with the ideas. Thirdly, it's about putting a little bit of planning in place. And fourthly, it's about forgetting about the SE function and all of that and just going and doing those things, allowing the introverted intuition to create the meaning around the experience, which will ultimately develop the SE function. So if you do try this experience, please let me know how you get on. I'd be really interested in some of your experiences along the way. Subscribe to the Introvert Power channel. There will be more videos coming out in time, and I'd appreciate it if you would like the videos as well, and look forward to seeing you in another video. I'm exhausted.